It's a quiet Sunday morning. A man named Ward sits on his porch in the soft light, looking out at the yard. He isn't scrolling, he isn't searching for anything. He is physically present, simply noticing the spring green that has been there all along. But sitting on his laptop inside is a newly developed piece of terminal software. It is called the Breathe CLI. We have engineered the most advanced productivity environments in human history. We can map global supply chains and render entire worlds in real time. Yet we've arrived at a point where a developer wrote a command line prompt to trigger our own autonomic biology, to remind us to inhale and exhale. We have relentlessly optimized our schedules and minimized our friction. In doing so, we have delegated so much of our daily focus to digital interfaces that we regularly forget our own physical rhythm. We have offloaded an immense amount of our cognitive load to the machine. As a result, the machine must now return the favor, sending us a digital notification to keep our basic human functions running. Every morning at 8 a.m., Ward's inbox receives the Neosis Report. It is an automated agent that quietly ingests the massive, chaotic friction of global news and distills it into a perfectly formatted, frictionless summary. Storing and processing this infinite stream of information requires a heavy physical footprint. Oracle recently secured $16 billion specifically to expand their data center infrastructure, housing the hardware that makes this digital memory possible. The agent seamlessly pulls updates from every corner of the globe. It tracks everything from shifting tech leadership to Chinese submersibles diving into deep-sea mining controversies. The allure of this setup is absolute efficiency. A user can read about oceanic pressure or semiconductor markets over a cup of coffee, observing the entire planet's movements without ever touching a drop of water or a grain of silicon. Tools like the Neosis agent perfectly categorize the noise of global progress, but they create a seductive trap. The belief that tracking organized data is the same thing as participating in the messy reality it represents. There is a hard threshold where algorithmic processing hits a wall. Above is the frictionless digital layer. Below is dense physical reality. A language model can scrape millions of data points in seconds, but cannot execute the uncomfortable action of a difficult face-to-face conversation. In engineering, there is a debate between a machine retrieving data and a human possessing expertise. True expertise is built on scar tissue, the undigitizable memory of past mistakes, system crashes, and hard-won intuition acquired over years of physical work. An algorithm cannot replicate this. It lacks a physical body to fail, recover, and learn, making human experience an impenetrable moat. We can test this boundary by looking up. Space observation offers a stark contrast between a machine classifying an object and a human experiencing it. Look at this image of the Sombrero Galaxy. A machine learning model can parse this visual data within milliseconds, flawlessly categorizing the sharp dust lane and the glowing core. But the model feels nothing about the scale of those stars. A human observes a celestial body and holds the emotional duality of its nature. Take our own star. We live beneath a beautiful, violent sun. It provides warmth for every organism while erupting with terrifyingly destructive solar flares. Algorithms process these flares as data points on a graph. Only a human consciousness can hold the tension of profound, contradictory truths. Back on the porch, Ward sits in the soft morning light. The digital stack is running perfectly in the background, but the spring yard remains entirely still. The Breathe CLI on his laptop serves a purpose, but it carries an ultimate limitation. The software can encode the reminder to inhale, but it cannot expand his lungs. It cannot perform the act of being present for him. Having a perfect system to track the world's events doesn't excuse you from participating in them. You still have to sit on the cushion, feel the air, and experience the friction of reality. The machine's prompt is nothing more than a signpost. The physical burden of living and the scar tissue required to gain actual expertise rests entirely on you, which leaves a question you have to answer for yourself. What aspects of your life have you been trying to manage and optimize from a safe digital distance? We live in a time where a frictionless, optimized existence is the default setting. The algorithms prefer you seated and passive. Choosing to lean into the discomfort, to seek out actual physical presence, is a deliberate act of defiance against a system designed for absolute automation. When the machine offers to process the world for you, choosing to breathe for yourself is the ultimate act of wisdom, and wisdom is resistance.